my tip will be that you should build some layers of challenges and you should work on different skills targets of each player. What do I mean by that? Let me get into it. So when we're talking about the layers of challenges, so when you play a game, let's say for instance, you play 4v4 classic training game when you got 2 goals at each end, 1 goal at each end, so you got 2 goals in total. For the good players, it is quite easy, right? Because they have a simple target, they want to hit it, they want to score. But have you ever thought of changing the rules actually for every single player, or give different rules to different players? Have you thought of making the rules more challenging and more difficult in a way that everyone can find some sort of challenge in them? Let me be specific. So for some players, they might need to score in 2 touches, or maybe by the first touch only. When they play, they can do whatever they want, but if they want to score a goal, they got only 1 touch to use. The other players, they are unlimited. Let's say the one player can be holding the ball for only for certain period of time. Maybe they have to achieve certain amount of passes before they score. Maybe you can increase or decrease the amount of goals, the amount of targets you have. Have you thought of playing a game where you got multiple goals around? Why not? It encourages thinking. And the kids who are really great on a ball and the kids who are not as great on a ball, maybe they think the same. So you want to create different layers of challenges for them. So maybe some players can score only with a knee, or maybe only with a direct shot. The others can do some other things. I will leave this on to you to come up with some rules which you really like and which you will implement into your sessions. Other thing can be the different skills target. As I said, it could be the amount of touches. But let me use example of really common kids game which kids love and every kid knows it and every kid plays it. Because why should we constantly come up with something like new? So the kids do things which they like. Look at the school, ask them what they've done in a PE session, or ask them what they have played on a school break. You'll be surprised. They will tell you some sort of games which you can transfer into football and put them into football environment and introduce a ball to it. So everyone will like it. Example for all, one of the most favorite games in football what I have for small kids, we're talking between ages 6 till even 14, easy, is Bull Rush. Everyone plays it, right? It is a matter of one guy chasing everyone else while they are trying to pass him and avoid him and go to the other side. How can we make it that we're going to introduce those 2 things in it? Can we introduce a ball to it? Can maybe, let's call it a tagger, the bull, can he have a ball as well? Yeah, he have to steal someone else's ball, why not lose possession of his? Or maybe they will have some other elements in their hands which they can use. Maybe they can be using bibs, maybe they can be tagging only certain people. Maybe there can be a rule where if the ball grabs someone, they need to hold on to them as their prey forever till the end of the game. So you're going to limit their movements. By limiting movements, you got all sort of things you can come up with. They can be moving as crabs, they can be running as bears, they can be on their four, they can be controlling the ball once with their foot, once with their hands. Doesn't matter. The creativity is endless. You can come up again with your rules which you like. But at the end of the day, the whole point of this is that we want to keep every kid on their toes, we want to keep them engaged, and we want to let them have fun. The only way how we're going to do it is to incorporate something but the literature talks about it as a flow. So we need to increase the flow of a session. Let me show you in here what it is. So we're going to draw a simple graph. On one side, we're going to have skills and challenge. On the other side, we're going to have the mental energy which every player needs to put into the game. We can transfer it as an effort or engagement. So let me put it again into examples. So if I will play some game which will be too easy for me, so my mental energy will be in here, but I need ridiculous amount of skills to master it. So let's say if we will play the Bull Rush while every single kid is juggling while they're moving, so probably the level will be somewhere in here. This kid will probably not enjoy it for too much, correct? I think we can agree on this. Another thing, the game will be so easy for me. So let's say again the Bull Rush where I just need to get someone and I know my team is much slower than me, so I will get it. So my mental energy, so the effort again will be in here. and then I do not need really high set of skills because I already have them. I do not need to come up with anything else. So the challenge will be really low. So probably will be somewhere here. In the long term, probably not really good. Let's turn the situation around. I would need to put really amazing amount of effort into anything I do, but the skills, what I have for that, or what I need to do actually, it's really low. So I'll be somewhere in here. Again, we can agree that this kid will not be engaged for too long. So if the skills and the effort which the player needs to develop and do is kind of unbalanced, it will not work for long. So how to get out of this? So try to think of it that ideally what we want to achieve is a linear approach from somewhere here. So it needs to be great balance between the mental engagement, between the engagement, between the effort and the skills what they need. So we need to find the right balance where the kids will be challenged and they will be able to do it. Everyone, of course, wants to be challenged a bit. So occasionally, or like you can always move on a bit somewhere around it. But generally, you need to fit into this in order to engage every kid. And I guarantee you, if you will find the thin line and the spot for players, they will love to come back to your session, and this will be the only thing what they are talking about. Easiest way how to achieve this will be in form of different games. Please do not think of the games only as a football games. You can take any game which you played as a kid, which you like, which your kids like, and introduce a ball to it or introduce football elements into it. If you need some more tips, look around. There are plenty of materials, but it is important to have a thinking which will lead into everything what we said in here. This is the great way how to keep the kids engaged and how to keep them playing football, because this is what we want to achieve. The worst case scenario what can happen out of an unbalanced team can be sessions which are not challenging, which are not fun. It will lead to dropout of the best players, and it will lead to dropout of players who are not so good. But the result will be in dropping the kids, and they will choose different sports, they will choose different activities and different challenges. That's something what we want to avoid.